Let's do this.
Oh, dang. I'm not quite ready. I need like another 20 seconds, so just hang on. Welcome back, family. Okay, I had to do something corny. You know, it's just what I am, right? Welcome back, family. We're here for the CovrPrice Top 20 for July 8th, 2024, with a brand new wall behind us. And actually, I made two of those. So this way, and they're hinged, so I can put them standing at a 90-degree angle. So when I do the next show in Cartersville, I will be able to put up 228 books, and each one is in an angled mitered slot, so you could take it out, see it, put it back in without removing it from the wall, full view. There. And working on something that big in the sun this weekend in Georgia, tiring, very tiring. But I got it done and really, really happy with it. And I may even just use that for showing my top 50 books every year. See how that works out. Okay. We have some interesting books here for the CovrPrice Top 20, which again, if you disagree with any of the picks, they're not picks, they're just reporting news. It's like, don't get mad at the newscaster if they tell you that a house burnt down. Oh, they're just telling you a house burnt down. They didn't burn it down. If you don't like anything that's on the CovrPrice Top 20, don't blame CovrPrice. They're just reporting what we're doing. So that's the idea of the show, is to try to make better decisions. JP's Budget Collecting does the list every week for the CBSI and Comic Tom's list, and the CovrPrice has a list also, so I figured I would tackle that one. But full recognition goes to JP's for doing this, and I try to get this done so I can get online and on YouTube and watch his show, which is at 9 o'clock Eastern, so you can jump from one show to the next. All right. I look so small. I went on a diet. See, yeah, that's how you lose weight. Let's get right into this list, shall we? All right, so number 20 on the list, a book we haven't seen for a little while, and it's back to haunt us. The Biker Mice from Mars, number 1 from 1993. This goes, it jumped on the list originally. By the way, it's been a year since the announcement. Ryan Reynolds signed on to adapt this into a movie. Why? I don't know. I think he's just producing it. He's not going to be in it, or I'm not sure. However, this did cause prices to spike. 9.8s last year were going for 400. Now they're going for 150. We have a new series that's out from Oni Press as well. Sorry. You know what? Let me just jump right down the list. We had Robert Monroe jumping in. Good evening, Rich, my fellow coconuts. Good evening to you. 25 Perez, TTM. How's it going? Singabuns is looking for the new wall reveal. It's already there. And please, I appreciate that. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel. More, the better we grow, the faster we give away the milestone books and more books in New Comic Book Day. And our goal is someday to have a giveaway box that kind of can compete with Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics. I know that's a pipe dream because I just saw the video of the books he put in this week. I'm like, come on, man. Make it competitive, Jeez. Anyway, Meatwad number 1. Hello and good evening. How's it going, Meatwad? And he does the quantity of slabs. And Kenneth. Hi to everyone who is here tonight. Hi to you, sir. How are you? So, the Biker Mice from Mars, number 1, we've got $150 for a 9.1, but that sale was back in April. Now a 9.6 is selling for $135, which means that 9.8 is going to probably be closer to like $220, $230. Near Mint Raws, one just sold a couple days ago for $20, and a Near Mint Plus sold back in June for $23. Oni Press's Biker Mice from Mars revitalization in the comic books is coming out this month if it's not out already. It's because I'm not following it because I don't care about biker mice from Mars. It's just not for me. Um, then again, neither was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You ding dong. um, yeah, I don't see this book having any long term investability. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's in bookstores. You can probably still find this in a dollar bin. Uh, eh, it's already come down quite a bit, but I think it's got more to drop. 9.0 just sold for 84. Really? I wouldn't even. It's a 1993 book. I wouldn't even think that a 9.0 should be worth sending in for slabbing. Anyway, keep your eyes out for Raws. I wouldn't spend money on a slab one. Number 19 on the list, Watchmen. Can you believe it? We got Watchmen up here. Um, yeah, we got the animated series or animated movie. Sorry. No, it's an animated series. That's right. It's an animated series. Um, that's no, it's an animated rated R movie, but it's coming out as a two-parter, but it's going straight to DVD. Okay. Had to think about that for a second, but I got it. Anyway, first appearance of the Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan, blah, 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 blah. And the fact that it's going straight to DVD does not fill me with confidence. It almost makes me think of um, the Toxic Avenger, where, hey, we're going to make a movie. Okay, it's already been released. When? About a year ago. And I never saw it. Where was it? This goes straight to DVD. So what's the point of making it rated R? Anyway, because they have to have a rating on it. If it's good, I think that's what I'm reading a lot of people saying. I just hope it's faithful to the comic book. Rated R might not even be rated high enough. It might need to be NC-17 to really be to pay it homage. But once the part one comes out on DVD and in August, what do you figure? October it's going to drop in price. Yeah, that's what I'm reading. See if I can bring this over here. And see if I can move it to a spot where Watchmen Chapter 1, the first part of the Warner Brothers Entertainment two-part animated adaptation of the Watchmen graphic novel, is scheduled for release on Blu-ray and direct-to-video on demand August 13th, 2024. After San Diego Comic-Con, Watchmen Chapter 2 is expected to premiere in early 2025. So, usually straight to DVD is not the greatest thing in the world. But in its defense, Toy Story 2 was scheduled originally go straight to DVD, and based on test audiences, they changed their mind and decided to put it in the movie theater. That could have, been a big money loss for them if they just went straight to DVD. So that's where that stands. I think that just wait till October or so before. Yeah, the Watchmen is not something new. It's already been movies. It's $750 for a 9.8, but high grade Raws wow. I don't go by the 9.6 to 10.0s because sometimes somebody puts them, this is a 10.0. So you should CGC graded. And I look at it, it's got 18 spine ticks. People that listed it near mint 9.0 to 9.4 on eBay consistently undergrade their comics. They want the customers to be satisfied with their purchase. A lot of times you get those books and they do come back at 9.6 or 9.8. So near mint raw is going for $50. 9.6, 165 just the other day, and last month a $750 9.8, where the fair market value was 703. I would be going for the near mint raws if I really decided I wanted to have one. Ideally, I would want to wait till more like October, November, in between the two movies. I think you'd find better prices. This, they made enough of these things. It's not like it's a hard book to find. Number 18 on the list, there's Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime, the 1 in 10 Gabriel Delato. It's on the list now, what, the third week in a row? But unfortunately, the 1 in 10 is now selling for $9. It's not even hitting ratio at the moment. Uh, it's a 1 in 10. If you can pick it up for $9, how much more is it going to drop? 7? If you've been wanting to get it, if you're worried about that extra $2 drop, then wait. If you want to just say, I want to get it so I can put it in my collection and not worry about it, $9 is a decent price for a 1 in 10 variant and some really cool art at the same time. The fact that it has dropped so much tells me it really has no long-term investability, but there are a few different covers here that are good. I really do like the Scotty Young on this. It's not a baby Scrooge McDuck. It's there it is. It's you can tell by if you really look at the art, it's Scotty Young, but it's not a baby, and it's pretty cool cover. I like it. So, and that one also is not that expensive. It's selling now for $6, $2. $2 is the last near mint sale. So half of cover price. This did not blow up like a lot of people expected. And oh well. I mean, I got a couple copies. I thought it was cool, but number 17 on the list, 1918, 17. Yes. Detective Comics 1086. Sebastian Fiumara 1 in 25. We talked about this last week. I do like the artwork on this. It kind of looks like a statue that's been painted, not an actual Batman. But it's got that Joker paint on it. It reminds me of the way that they painted the paintings in the 1989 Batman Museum, in the movie Batman. So, first appearance of Shadow Angel. This book has actually gone up a bit since last week. Near Mint's selling now for 51. I believe they were going for closer to 40 last week. So we've broken over the 2 times ratio, and the highest for a raw was $70 on the 5th. So it seems like this book is trending upwards, but I think that this is going to go along with every other ratio variant. Well, 99.999% of ratio variants in the last 10 years. I think in the long run, it's going to drop. I have very little faith in ratio variants. I did kind of get behind one, which I purchased, which is going to be here on Wednesday, which is on this hot list and has dropped since last week. So even the one that I did think had a good chance has gone down. Number 16 on the list, we have A Vicious Circle. Yes, this was from Boom Studios 2022. It was a 3-part series that came out, and it has been the rights have been secured by, was it Columbia or Universal? One of the two, but I know that they're adapting this, and Ryan Coogler is actually producing it. So, Black Panther. So, we've got the Raws. So yesterday, a near mint raw sold for 15, which is not terrible. It's for something that's looks like it's going to be made into something. $15 is not terrible. It's a Boom Studio book, came out 2 years ago, year and a half. Yeah, I'm going to see about picking it up because I think this is actually a decent buy. This may be my gun to the head pick today. And if you want to read the whole thing, it's only 3 issues, so it's not going to break your wallet at the current time. And I like what Coogler goes after. Honestly, I do. I don't know what the cover. Oh, the cover price on it was 10. So it's only selling for 15. So it's it's 50% over cover price. That's not a big markup. And if you can get it, that's not bad. I don't see any slab sales. So expect for there to be some fast track slab sales. The fact that it's on the hot list means you're probably not going to find it for 15, but before it really, gets out of control, if you can grab one for 17, 18, 19, watch the shipping cost on it, might not be a bad idea. Number 15 on the list, we have The Terrifics. Now, I think I saw this on the list last year when all the, James Gunn's going to do this, James Gunn's going to do that. I really want to see a good adaptation of Plastic Man, and I don't mean just the special effects. I mean the personality. The personality has to be done right. What we got? The third issue is supposed to be released next month, but it may be delayed because the artwork is so detailed. Oh, so it's not even out yet? The first issue came out in 2022 and they haven't gotten all three issues out. Ooh. All right. So you might want to put issue number 3 on your pre-order list. um wow. So next month we're looking at potentially getting um a vicious circle number 3 and Saga restarting. Good times. The Terrifics, though, is I see current trend is down. 9.8 high some value was 105 back in January, but I don't see any recent sales for a 9.8. I do see a 9.6 sold for 100. Really? Really? Near mints are selling for 20 bucks, but a 9.6 sells for 100. No. No, no, and by the way, no. I don't think that that's worthwhile. I mean, I can go buy 5 near mints for the same price as a one 9.6 and send them in for pre-screens. Jeez. Uh, there is a silver foil one from EC Comic Con and a second print. I don't see. It looks like the raw prices are about the same. So this is a if this gets adapted, it could be great. It could be Blue Beetle, which is a good story, but nobody gives a dang about it. So it's I would look for raws on this. I wouldn't be trying to chase down one of these Phantom 9.8s that haven't sold in 7 months or 9.6 for $100. So next on the list, it's sticking around. Blood Hunt Red Band Edition 1 in 25 crime suspense story homage from Blood Hunt number 1. I'm so glad that this is the only one on the list right now. It took a while for the second issue to come out. When you see the artwork, you know why. It's really beautiful and worth the wait. Last question about the Vicious Circle. Is it a lot of text and, like describing it, or do they let the artwork tell the story? You know what I mean by that. um, the Red Band 1 in 25s, number 2, 3, 4, all shot up ridiculously in price because people were afraid of missing out on Blood Hunt, like the 1 in 25, like they did with issue number 1. Unfortunately, that once the store saw how hot number 1 was, they ordered enough copies to cover demand, and now everybody comes in like, oh, thank God, I got 50 copies of it just so I get 1 in 25s. Yeah, they're $200 a piece. Then they could take the other 25 copies and throw them in the garbage. They don't care. They've made their money already off it because they knew people were going to have FOMO. But there's plenty of copies. It's only issue number 1 that had a low amount of copies. Even with that being said, highest known value of a 9.8 of this was 600, and one sold yesterday for 209. It's 65% off. That's a good sale. Also, Nearman Plus just sold for 200 a few days ago. I think I'll take the 209 9.8s before I take a $200 raw. So, and if you're not into slabs, and I know a lot of people are not, so a lot of people, my wall will offend them. I apologize. There's nothing saying that you couldn't buy a 9.8 slab book, which guarantees you've got a good quality, and crack it open and put it in a $20 bag if that makes you happy. I mean, it is practically the same price right now before a near mint plus $200 or a 9.8 $209. And just to make sure that there's nothing hidden that I didn't see that somebody else should have seen because I'm paying for grading, and I've got my air quotes going out in that one. It's just making sure that there's not something that you missed. I think that this cover alone will prevent it from just dropping forever. I think this is going to be one of those iconic covers like Pop Soda or whatever it was called, that people will see it forever and go, "Oh man, I missed out on that one when it came out. Oh yeah, it's still got great value. I always wanted to get that." And I'm still going to keep my eyes open for one, but just not quite yet for me, because I just pull the trigger on something different. um, but if I saw that for the $200 mark for a 9.8, I might try and get it for try to find something a little bit less. I think it's got a little bit more to come down. All right, next on the list we have Action Comics number 1066, the Mark Spears 1 in 25, the Lobo variant version, which that's one I thought would just continue to go up. And guess what? It hasn't. And by the way, as I said last week, that was my gun to the head pick, and I did purchase one. And it's coming in on Wednesday, according to tracking information. Highest known value was 70, and now we got Raws. I go for the near mint price, 52 yesterday, which is not bad. I think I paid 49. So okay. With low shipping. But it's not taking off. So since it's just not continuing to go up, there's only one other trajectory I think it's going to have, and I think it'll probably peak up around 55, 60 because it's still on the hot list, reminding people to get it. And then it'll start to taper off and probably wind up dropping down to a $35 book, which I don't mind so much. I may get this one slabbed. I may put this one in a Mylar. I think this one will look great in a Mylar too. All right, so we got 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. We're almost there, halfway. Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 70, retailer incentive 1 in 10. The introduction of Sonic as the Phantom Rider. Dun, dun, dun. We've got, when did this come out? July 3rd. So last week, sorry. And selling for highest known, somebody pre-ordered it for 35. The Image sold for $20 yesterday. The Image Plus sold for 12 a couple days ago. Okay. I respect all Sonic the Hedgehog readers. I respect all readers of every book. Okay. Just because I don't like something does not mean it's not good. Just means it's not for me. Sonic, My Little Pony, those kind of books, they're just not up my alley. I never played the video game. I don't even know who's who in the character in the video game. Never watched the movie. Just wasn't me. It is not a broad in audience buying Sonic the Hedgehog as it is a buying Batman or Wolverine or Deadpool. So when each store knows their Sonic buyers, the people that like Sonic the Hedgehog, it just seems to work out to be exactly the right amount of books for the people that want to buy it. So supply will always seems to match demand on these books, on every single one of the incentive retailers. That being said, the books never seem to go up in price, and I think we'll continue that trend on this book. And this is a 1 in 10. Yeah, I think this is going to be back down to $10, $12 in 5 to 6 weeks. So I wouldn't spend $20 on this book. All the Sonic incentive variants inevitably come down because the amount of people that are looking for the book is not everybody in the comic industry. It's a niche audience. Okay. And if you're in that niche, it's cool. Mad respect. It doesn't hit everybody. Everybody that walks into a Comic-Con doesn't say, all right, I want to pick up that New Mutants 98 and I want to see if I can get myself a Hulk 181 and maybe a Batman 181 also, so I can get the first appearance of Poison Ivy and any real key Sonic the Hedgehog books. It's not a common sentence you hear as you're waiting online to get in. Number 11, we've got Geiger. Geiger's back on the list. 2021 Image Books behind. I remember when this came out. Yeah. So 9.8 just sold for $58 yesterday. Near Mints selling for 11. So this did go up again earlier in the year and come back down. We have a 9.9 that sold in April for 250. I'm willing to bet that's a CBCS because I think back in April, CGC 9.9s were still kind of rare. And if that was a CGC 9.9 of Geiger with the hype that went on with Geiger earlier in the year, I think this probably would have gone a lot higher than that. But a CBCS, you can get 9.9s a little bit easier. And it's not that their grading is more lax. It's just they say, look, that's a perfect book. I'm going to leave it as a perfect book. For some reason, CGC always said for a 9.9 or a 10, it has to be more perfect than perfect. What? So we're not looking for, it's not Holly Berry. It's got to be even better. What? Whatever. $58 for 9.8 is not a bad price. I mean, I don't think you're going to get much cheaper than that. 55 maybe. Most common slab at 61. It is a really cool cover. And it does pop up from time to time. I don't know if this is ever going to be optioned and made into a show or a movie. But even if it does, it could be like Paper Girls. So different storyline altogether, but that idea of it's shooting up and then coming back down. I would look for, if you always wanted to put this in the collection, a $58 9.8, still a better investment than a $49 9.6, or your near mints at $11. It's not terrible. So that's, let me see, 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. We are halfway through our list. So we need to get back to me high. And I'm going to take this moment to remind everybody. See, what we usually do at the halfway point is to throw up that end credit screen that shows everybody, our Patreon members and our YouTube members. But for the next couple of weeks until August 2nd, at least, we're going to be just doing that at the end of the video and using this time to help one of our own. Mr. Stinkerbuns himself is raising money through his where the heck is my cursor? Get over there. God, I hate white on white. Just very hard to see my cursor sometimes. You can find there it is. So Stinkerbuns is raising money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And this is the link for it. And don't worry, you can't click on the screen, but it's in the description, and that's very, very clickable. So we want to here we're trying to raise awareness just so we can help him try to reach his goal. I love it. Help me prove that I love my brother-in-law more than the rest of my family. And that is something that Garrett would say as a joke, of course. But I've seen that meter has moved since the last video. Cool. I really appreciate that from everybody. If you have a chance to just jump on, just even if you donate $5, it's something that help keep moving that meter up to the other end. It's open until August 2nd. So if you haven't yet, and it's because you're trying to work extra overtime to give that big donation, love you. But again, we try to look out for everybody in the family, help each other out. And but at the same time, don't also forget Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, Comic Curing Cancer, the Comic Vet. Join those guys and make sure that you are also saving up money for the big October auction. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We got to break last year's 50,000, and I think we're gonna smash it because I think just heading there, we're already over 10. So yes. Okay, so let's get back on track with the countdown. I have to get one of these screens. Boom. And this little mini me. Hey. All right. So coming in at number 10, breaking in. This is Proof number 1. Last week, this was higher up on the list. And there was another book also that was a first appearance of one of the characters. And this is an Image comic from 2007 being adapted into a show for Amazon. We're still a little bit out from that, but I guess they're into production of it. Been a long time since a slab. No, not that long. 9.9 sold this year for $92, but now raws are selling for 103. Sweet Tooth is a great story, and that doesn't hold that kind of money. Okay. Think of all the TV shows that we've watched, even the big hitters. The Walking Dead, number one, is half the value that it was when the show was in its heyday. So this book came out in 2007 from Image. If no, 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 we're so far away from even getting the show. This book is going to drop a lot in price, and then it'll go up when the trailer comes out, the show comes out, and then it'll go back down again. Sandman number one is down right now in between shows. The Last of Us is out between seasons, so these are shows that are the exceptions, not the rule. The majority of the shows are more like Paper Girls and what was the one that Shirley's throwing? Old Guard. I mean, where are those books now? These are I watched Old Guard. It wasn't bad. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't bad. There's a lot of shows that come out that were optioned and they drop. So a lot of times these things get optioned and they never get made at all. I just don't think that's a prudent investment. Right now, I think your best investments overall are still Golden Age, Silver Age in this market. Number 9, we've got Spider-Man Reign number 1, Series 2. There we go. The 1 in 25, Leslie Leroux Lee. First appearance of Earth 70237 Kitty Cat and 70237 Miles Morales. Now, call me crazy. I actually really like that cover. I really like that cover. I think it's really cool. It's, instead of the black cat, you got Kitty Cat. And yeah, I kind of like that cover. I think it's really well done. Now it's a 1 in 25. We've got sales of near mint sales for 30. It's a little over ratio. But what I do find interesting is that the regular issue looks like I'm looking at come on, down, up a little, no, not available, down, not available, not available, up a little. So overall, any of the covers, they're trending about the same. They're not shooting up. People aren't going crazy for this particular book, which tells me that the story is okay, but not fantastic. Will Earth 70,237 characters mean anything once this series is over? I doubt it. It's a cool cover, but I wouldn't spend top dollar for it. It's only at $30. I think you're going to find this for 15 in 6 months. So if you really like the cover, hold on, just hang out and wait for it. Next on the list, we have The Last Nova. Annihilation 2099. First appearance. It's a 1 in 25. It's the first appearance of the Null set and Dracula's Captains. First team appearance, of the Null set and Dracula's Captains. So they had that also in issue number 1, the regular one, not the 1 in 25. And that book is only up 1%, selling for $5. So I think that's one of the things I do is I look at the ratio. If the regular book is dropping in price, that means people are not that interested in it. So the ratio is only going based on its rarity and not on demand. This shows up 52%. High sale of $43 on the 7th, which was yesterday. And another first appearance of a team. Yeah, first team appearance. Intro of The Last Nova. It's the 2099 series. And with the exception of Spider-Man 2099, because of the Spider-Verse and the ability to pull him into the Miles Morales movies, I don't see any of the 2099 characters really meaning anything to people in the long run after these series are over. So I don't think The Last Nova is going to. I doubt the null set and Dracula's Captains will. So I don't think this is really going to hold any kind of value. I think this is going to be 15 to 20 bucks before the end of the year. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are back at the authority number one, DC Comics. You see the big red there, down 0.18%, not 18%, but you know, 0.2%. It doesn't show that on the slab though. Fair market value of the 9.8 is 232, and one sold in June for 260. See what we got. The most recent sales here of Near Mint was June 30th for 45, a little over. FMV 9.4. Yeah, no, 9.6. There we go. Sold for 130 yesterday. That puts a little bit more in perspective. 9.6 for a 1999 book. I can see that. Now we've got this coming out next spring, I think. Next summer. It's definitely or it's coming out 2025, and this one's actually a movie. It's one of the first James Gunn ones. My first impression is, why would he go with the authority? Why not go with one of his, one of the main titles first? Just have that big bang, that big smash, and then 4 words come into my head: Guardians of the Galaxy. Who thought Guardians before it came out was going to be a hit? It's an obscure group. Hardly anybody knows about them. They're not really taken seriously. Okay, here comes the movie, and it just blew our mind. This is the DC version of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not saying the teams are the same, but it's an obscure group. Not many people know about it. People are not excited about it. The movie may come out and just all of a sudden go, oh my God, Marvel's in trouble. DC is going to take over. And if it doesn't do well, people are like, well, it was okay, but I mean, it's the authority, man. It's not Batman. So it's a no-lose scenario. That being said, if the movie does do like Guardians and puts these guys on the map, this book could take off. But I think it's going to drop a little bit before the trailer. So I hold off a little bit until you see it drop off the list, off the hot list. $45 for a raw is not terrible though. $45 for a high grade raw, that might not be a bad investment. Number 6. I can't figure out why. X-Men number 11. It's an iconic cover. It is. I've seen this cover a lot of times. It's not a first appearance of anybody. It's just a great Jim Lee cover. But let's see. We've got $95 9.8s. One sold 2 days ago. And Near Mint Raws and Near Mint Plus Raws. Near Mint Raw sells for $13 yesterday. So it's an affordable, great Jim Lee cover. It's not a first appearance of anybody. If you can get Jim Lee to sign that, maybe in red or black, right across Wolverine, that would be great. But I think everybody's got a copy of this by now. 1992, they were just pumping these things out. So, but you really can't go wrong with an iconic cover for $13. So I can't say no to that. And 9.8 for, it was sold a little over FMV. Should be about 90. It went for 95. Maybe it had free shipping. It's not bad. I mean, if you want to get one under $100 iconic cover, yeah, it's cool. Coming in number 5, the book that just won't go away. Doom number 1. And it was funny, when I was in Visions the other day, they had a phone call, and I just hear him say, no, I'm sorry. We're sold out. No, sorry. Okay. Thank you. Hang up the phone. They're looking for copies of Doom number 1. I wish I had copies of Doom number 1. Yeah, I think this book, people were not expecting it to be much of anything, so it just did not get ordered that much. This is a one-shot. Let's see real quick how the other covers. The Granov is down a little bit. The Perez is actually up a little, 13. I'm sorry, I just don't like the Maria Wolf. She does great art, just didn't work for me on this one. That was 47. Mm. The Hildebrand 150 is selling for 34, so that's down. Okay. Now, $81 for a 9.8. This was $200 not that long ago. June 14th, 3 weeks ago. $200. Now $81 for a 9.8. But the raws are still holding at 30 to 35. I don't know if the 9.8s are going to drop that much more, but let me just see something real quick here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to bring this back. So I did a little quick check about something. This book reminds me of a book from last year. I wish it was on the list to be fun. um, this reminds me of the Ramos Spider-Man #7 last year, first appearance of Spider-Boy. Remember how that book shot up and it was like 130, 140, 150 for a 9.8, then slowly came down. And Greg and I got ours around the $100 mark, thinking, okay, this we think this is as far it's bottomed out. This is as far as it's going to go. It was on the list for weeks. It kind of reminded me of this Doom book, kind of reminded me of that book. So I went before the show and looked up what was the last sale on eBay of a slabbed 9.8 Spider-Man #7 Ramos with Spider-Boy on the cover. $66. So if before I say that this is not going to drop down lower than 81, I had to remind myself about that was an actual first appearance. That was the hottest book. It was week after week after week. It was on the list. $66 for a 9.8 is the last one that just sold of those. That taking that into consideration, in a year, this is going to be 55 to $60 for a 9.8 and 20 to 25 for a raw. Still not a bad book if you bought it, you know, you got in, at ground zero, but it's not going to hold up to these prices, unfortunately. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. It was only a 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. day. Yeah. With a heat index of boiling water. Okay, number 4 on the list, Wolverine issue number 88, the deluxe $1.95 price. The regular was $1.50 price. So we had the first direct meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool and first battle, which we're about to see a whole bunch of in a couple weeks. So the highest price on this in 2021 was $1,000 for a 9.8. Now one just sold for $425, which is still up from its current FMV because the movie's about to come out. The regular issue $1.50, in case you have it, a 9.8 is going. Last sale was at $310. So this is about a third higher in price because it's the deluxe edition. What made it deluxe? I don't know. Higher price tag. Near Mints Plus sold for $124 and Near Mint regular sold for $59 yesterday. This is one of those books that up and down, but never goes completely in the tank as far as value, because people just love that really great cover. However, this is going to drop after the movie comes and goes. Even if you actually see this pose in the movie, which I think you're going to see it. It's too iconic a cover. I think you're going to see this, this pose in the movie. And everybody's going to go, there it is. And then you have a tiny little spike in the book and it'll come back down again. Judging from all the pictures that he posted, I think they had a blast. But yes, tell us yourself. And I did check the sky in the background. It always seemed to be blue. So thank goodness for that. Watch, she'll be like, no, those are the one day we had blue skies, every other day rained. I think if you only want this book, which most people do, just wait till more like the end of August, beginning of September. A lot of people will be dropping them from the collection. And if you really don't need to have the $1.95 deluxe price tag, look for the $1.50 regular. It still gives you the book. Save yourself about 30% off the price, and you can still get yourself a really good one. Number 3 on the list. Is it any surprise we've got New Mutants number 98, first appearance of Deadpool. I wonder why. uh Now, 9.8 last sale 2 days ago. No, sorry, today. 11.25. Awesome, awesome. I did see on Instagram Elite 11 did a deal of the day. Probably about a week and a half ago of this book in a 9.8 for 9.99 shipped. It was claimed instantly. But that just did show me that this has room to drop down and will after the movie comes and goes. I mean, one of the biggest books before the Ahsoka series, and you know, one of my books that I'm not allowed to sell is the Clone Wars. And go look up the price of a Clone Wars number 1 and a 9.8. It's under $1,000 now. Whereas before that was what, 1,800, 2,000? I don't know what's going to happen with Deadpool after this movie. If he's up done contractually, if he'll pop in from time to time as a guest star, is he going to join the X-Men? I don't know. But if this movie kind of ends the arc of Deadpool in the movies, this book might be in for a rude awakening as far as a price. Comic Vet's in the house. What's up, Canada? How you doing today, sir? You know, since you're here, I gotta say, I actually haven't even had a chance to chat with you. I'm so upset I missed you at Heroes Con. I did not know you were not going to be there on Sunday. I got there like, hey, where's Chris? Oh, he had to go home last night. No. So would have really been nice to meet you in person. I think this book is going to drop in price, but again, it depends upon what happens in this movie and how it ties into the rest of the MCU. Uh, I personally think that Ryan Reynolds likes playing Deadpool, but he doesn't want to only be known for that. I did watch If the other day. That was a better movie. The ending made up for some of the shortfalls in the movie itself, but overall, pretty good film. So if you haven't watched If yet, bring your kids, bring your adults, and bring your box of tissues. Yeah, I would wait on this. I think it will come down. I think the price is a little bit inflated because of the hype of the movie, but that's that. Number 2 on the list, we have Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. This was the one per store, and Vision's got their copy, and they're very glad it arrived in good condition, but it was not really securely packaged. It was polybagged, if I'm not mistaken, but I would not be surprised if some stores had their copies come in damaged if how they packaged it to Visions was indicative of how they sent it out to the rest of the industry. It says current trend down 5%. Highest known value. Somebody paid $150 for this raw. Are you crazy? Wow. I mean, it's a good cover. It's not a great cover. It's a good cover. It's the number 0. The Alexander Capuccio. But let's see. A near mint today sold for 50. Near mint plus 2 days ago sold for 40. A very fine sold a week ago for 60. So this price is dropping pretty quickly. I think it's going to settle around 25 to 30, honestly. And yeah, I mean, if this was the first issue of a series that became a major hit and everybody loved it, like, oh yeah, everybody's got. Oh, I got the Moon Knight. Did you get the Moon Knight? Yeah, did you get the Moon Knight? Did you get the Moon Knight number 0? Oh my god! So, I mean, even this. Remember the Stray Dogs one per store when that came out? That was $100 raw. Now it's like 15. So these one per stores rarely hold their value. I mean, it's still that's like 2,300 copies. So Books that are limited to 500 or 1,000 are, don't hold that, don't sell for $150. So yeah, I would still stay away from this one. I think this is still has a lot to drop. Okay, coming in number one, we have the X Force number one. This shocked the heck out of me. Third appearance of Warpath, unofficial appearance of Deadpool, character bio, first cameo appearance of Tyler Dayspring, first appearance of GW Bridge. That's why. I thought it all had to do with the trading card. First appearance of GW Bridge. Oh, that's who I'm just finding out. I think I found this out yesterday or the day before. Giancarlo Stanton. Damn it, I said it. Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah, one of the New York Yankees is going to join the MCU. Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon, for those of you, and he's also the guy in charge in The Boys. Right now, he's already been known that he's signed on for the MCU. Nobody knew what role. It looks like he's going to play GW Bridge. So yeah, this book is going to spike up a little bit, obviously. So what do we got now for sales? A 9.8 sold on the 4th of July for $75. And I see high grade, near mint selling for $13. This book always does get a lot of fun and laughs because you might get a Deadpool rookie card, which, by the way, if you do get a Deadpool rookie card and you can send it in and get a PSA 10 for it. It's really the dang thing sells for $1,500 if you get a PSA 10 on a Deadpool rookie card. And I mean sells for $1,500. Not people lists. People actually pay for a Deadpool rookie card. Okay. But yeah, you know what this is going to mess up a bit? This is going to mess up Rob a little bit because he always loves to pick these up in the poly bags and put them into his poll box. So that way people can have a chance to get that Deadpool rookie card. The first appearance of GW Bridge is going to spike the price a little bit, and it's not going to matter to Rob. He'll still buy the dang things and stick them in there. Yeah. Okay. So even if he is going to play GW Bridge, you're still a ways out of seeing that character on the screen. And how much will that character mean anything? Bear in mind that this book was still very, very highly printed. So any spikes in price cannot be maintained by just the amount of them that are out there. If you find yourself a really nice copy in a poly bag and you want to open it up and try, as a getting a pack of cards, I wouldn't go over $10 on this in a poly bag. And the fun is honestly in not just the book itself, but trying to get the card. These are dollar bin books all day. Go crazy, folks. Yes. But I would just hold off. I mean, yeah, you see right here. It says near mint plus last sale $1 yesterday. So very fines yesterday $1. So yes, they absolutely are dollar bin books. Don't expect the first appearance of GW Bridge, a character I'm not really that enamored with, is going to bring this book up in price a lot. There's just too many of them. So in effect, I did not get to talk about a Spawn number one, Hector. I'm sorry, but I did bring up a book here that is printed just about as much. All right, so I am going to now give you my gun to the head pick, what I think is this week's best investment or investment that will lose the least amount of money, which unfortunately on some of these lists is which one, if I were going to go spend the money on with the intention of trying to make money, which one would I pick? I really don't have a positive feel for any of the books on this list, but if I could still get it for this price, which is about $15 for a raw high grade. I'm going for a vicious circle. Remember, the cover price on this was 10. So, and you only got to get 3 books, and one of them is not even out yet. So you'll be able to get that one for cover price itself. It's an easy set to put together. It may actually turn into something, and there's no slab sales yet. So highest known value $20 for a raw. Other than that, books were selling yesterday for 15. So that would be where I would look. Let's see if there's any variants in here too that are worthwhile. Got a second print, a 1 in 25. Inyuk Lee, 1 in 25, no less. A J Lee Virgin 1 in 25. No, 1 in 15. Hey, come on, get out of there. So it looks like the highest ratio variant was an Inyuk Lee Virgin 1 in 25. Okay, decent cover. And that one sells for, well, it was selling for 10 to 15. I wouldn't count on finding it at that price now. But so that would be my gun to the head pick. I would go for that vicious circle. If nothing else, I just want to read it. That's what I just, yep, exactly. We're here, man. We're here. Okay. Now I have to pick my rubber band to the butt, what I consider to be the worst pick of this week's list. We actually have a few choices here. See, if I see a book that is $10 and I think it's going to drop to 8, that's a 20% drop, but you're only losing $2. Is that really that big a deal? Da 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 da. Wow. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say the one that I would absolutely not buy at this time is New Mutants number 98. And it's a great book. Okay. And a 9.8 is a great book, great cover and everything else. I just think it's really the wrong time. And I think this book has definitely got a downward turn coming in 2 months. I mean, CDC 9.8 in August 2021 was $4,000. Now I saw one, like I said, on sale on Elite 11 for $9.99 shipped. So that's 75% off. I think this book could even drop a little bit further. I think this book might come down to 900, 875, which would be $250 less than the last sale. So I think that's one that you would want to hold off on. I think the raw is selling for $390, $330. I think those are going to drop into the 2s. And I just look at other $1,000 books once movies and TV shows have passed, how they drop down. So, yeah, it really is. Because if you look at the entire list, the Moon Knight is a very close second. And the only reason I didn't pick that Moon Knight is because I think percentage wise, the Moon Knight I think is going to drop more. But if I bought a book for $50 and it lost half its value, I'm out $25. If I bought the first appearance of Deadpool and it drops $250, which is a much lower percentage of its actual price, I think I'd be more upset about losing $250. So those are my choices for this week. And I'm going to bring myself back up. Hey. All right. So, yes, I am going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much for joining, everybody. Had a lot of fun here. Please don't forget to click like, click subscribe, click on the notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Get to Rob's Fast Stacks of Comics, get to the Comic Vets, and make sure that you get to Comics Curing Cancer. Okay? Got to see all the books that are already being unboxed on Rob's Fast Stacks videos. He's already started to show the books that are going to be there for the auction this year. He's made a call out for artists, draw some pictures, donate them So we're going to be having original art from different people during this auction. And we're just going to have a blast doing it. That's the whole thing. The one thing I really hope is, I know last year Rob powered through it, even though he wasn't feeling well. I'm hoping he's like, yeah, I hope they give him whatever they try to give Joe Biden for when he's coherent and it looks energetic. Whatever that magic formula is, got to give it to Rob for that weekend. Whatever he had for the debate, keep that away from him. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Till I see you in the next video. Mahalo.